Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something powerful, something simple, but something that could change the next decade of your life. What if one small handful of food, something you've been told is healthy for years, is quietly draining your energy, irritating your joints, slowing your digestion, and adding unnecessary stress to your body every single day? And what if another handful, a different natural nutrient-dense option, could give you better brain power, steadier energy, improved heart health, and even more stable blood sugar, all with one small daily habit? Seniors, today I want you to think about this. Every bite you take either supports your body or stresses it. There is no neutral food. Most people don't realize this because we've grown up in a world where snacking is normal, packaged foods are celebrated, and anything labeled nutritious gets a free pass. But the truth is, especially as we age, the body becomes more sensitive. The digestive system becomes less tolerant, inflammation becomes easier to trigger, recovery becomes slower. And certain foods, even ones marketed as health foods, can work against you. Today, I want to highlight one nut that sneaks into trail mixes, buffets, baked goods, holiday bowls, and those healthy snack packs you see at the grocery store. Yet it's one of the worst nuts seniors can eat. And I'll also reveal the one nut you should eat daily because it supports your heart, your brain, your joints, and even your mood. This is not about fear. This is about empowerment. You deserve to understand your food. You deserve clarity, not confusion. You deserve to age with strength, confidence, and vitality, no matter what the calendar says. And here's the best part. This isn't about restriction. It isn't about dieting. There is nothing extreme about what I'm going to share with you. In fact, it's all about simplicity. Nature already built the answers. We only need to use them. So as you listen, think about your morning routine, your afternoon snack, those quiet moments in the evening when you reach for something crunchy. Think about how small habits build into big results. Because if you can change one small habit today, you could transform your energy this week, your mobility this month, and your health for years to come. Let's start with clarity. Let's start with truth. Let's start with you. As we age, the body becomes more selective about what it can tolerate. The foods you could enjoy at 30 might not feel the same at 60, 70, or 80. Your digestive enzymes slow down. Your blood vessels become more sensitive. Your immune system responds more dramatically to inflammatory triggers, and nuts, though tiny, can have an enormous impact. Some nuts are extremely high in oxidized oils, gut irritants, and anti-nutrients that make digestion harder, increase inflammation, or stress your metabolism. For seniors, this can show up as, even at low levels, aflatoxin can place stress on the liver and immune system. And as we age, our bodies become less efficient at processing and eliminating these toxins. For seniors, this can contribute to sluggishness, digestive discomfort, and increased inflammation without ever making the connection to that small handful of peanuts or spoonful of peanut butter. Another problem with peanuts is their inflammatory fat profile. Peanuts are very high in omega-6 fatty acids, which most of us already consume far too much of. When omega-6 fats dominate your diet, especially without enough omega-3 fats to balance them, they can promote inflammation throughout the body. Seniors often feel this in the form of stiffer joints, more pronounced aches, slower recovery, or increased swelling. Many chalk these symptoms up to getting older, but very often they're simply the result of dietary imbalance. If you eat peanut butter regularly, snack on roasted peanuts, or choose trail mixes loaded with them, your omega-6 intake can quietly climb without you realizing it. Peanuts also contain lectins and other gut irritating compounds that can be difficult for the digestive system, especially as stomach acid and enzyme production naturally decline with age. These irritants can lead to bloating, gas, discomfort after meals, or unpredictable bowel habits. For someone already dealing with a sensitive gut, this becomes even more noticeable. And because peanuts are often roasted at high temperatures, the oils inside them can oxidize, creating compounds that add even more stress to the digestive tract and cardiovascular system. Then consider how peanuts are often eaten, not raw, whole, and fresh, but salted, roasted, flavored, glazed, or turned into processed peanut butter filled with added sugars, seed oils, and preservatives. All of this amplifies the inflammatory load. For seniors who are trying to maintain stable energy, sharp cognition, comfortable digestion, and good heart health, peanuts can quietly chip away at progress. The problem isn't that peanuts are inherently evil. It's that they are far from the nutrient powerhouse most people assume. and their downside is magnified with age. When your goal is to reduce inflammation, protect your joints, support your gut, and keep your brain strong, peanuts simply work against you more than they work for you. When inflammation, digestive irritation, or blood sugar imbalance becomes a daily struggle, it's easy to assume these changes are simply part of aging. But the truth is, much of what seniors experience, fatigue after meals, joint stiffness that seems to appear out of nowhere, unpredictable digestion, or sudden drops in energy, can be heavily influenced by what they eat. When a food consistently irritates the gut or triggers inflammation, the effects ripple throughout the entire body, and peanuts are a perfect example of how a common snack can create daily discomfort without being recognized as the source. For many seniors, the first sign of peanut-related impact is digestive distress. Because peanuts contain lectins and other gut-irritating compounds, they can cause the lining of the digestive tract to become reactive. This can show up as bloating, gas, discomfort after eating, or even changes in bowel habits. Since enzyme and stomach acid production naturally decrease with age, the body becomes less efficient at breaking down foods that are harder to digest, and peanuts often fall into that category. A simple handful can lead to hours of discomfort, leaving people feeling heavier, slower, or more sluggish without knowing why. Another major impact lies in inflammation. Peanuts' high omega-6 content can tilt the body toward a more inflammatory state, especially when there isn't enough omega-3 intake to counterbalance it. In seniors, this often makes joint pain more noticeable. That morning stiffness, the slower movement after sitting, the soreness after light exertion, these symptoms can all become more intense when inflammation is consistently fueled by diet. Many seniors feel like their flexibility, mobility, and overall comfort are slipping away, but the problem can be traced back, at least partly, to foods that aggravate inflammation. Peanuts can also influence energy levels. Their mold risks and inflammatory fats can place extra stress on the liver and immune system, which may contribute to daily fatigue. Seniors may notice mid-afternoon crashes, brain fog, or a heavy feeling after meals. When the body is constantly working to manage irritation instead of efficiently processing nutrients, energy becomes harder to sustain. This can affect focus, mood, and daily productivity, creating a cycle where even simple tasks begin to feel more draining than they used to. Over time, these daily impacts add up. Joint discomfort affects movement, reduced movement affects strength, poor digestion affects nutrient absorption, and low energy affects motivation. What starts as a small dietary irritant can slowly shape how a person feels each day, and that's why identifying these triggers, like peanuts, is so important. When a food makes you feel worse every time you eat it, it doesn't matter how small it is. The long-term cost on your comfort and quality of life is too high. The solution to the problems caused by peanuts doesn't have to be complicated or restrictive. In fact, it can be incredibly simple. Choose a nut that supports your body instead of stressing it. When you remove peanuts and peanut-based products from your diet, you create space for foods that reduce inflammation, nourish your cells, and stabilize your energy. This isn't about eliminating joy or giving up your favorite snacks. It's about upgrading them. The beauty of natural, whole foods is that they work with your body, not against it. And the right nut can provide benefits that go far beyond satisfying a craving. When you switch to a more nutrient-dense alternative such as walnuts, you give your body a source of fats that calm inflammation instead of fueling it. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, the same beneficial fats found in foods like salmon, and these fats help your joints move more easily, your brain stays sharper, and your heart stays stronger. By simply choosing a better nut, you naturally begin to restore balance to your omega ratio, which reduces inflammatory responses throughout the body. This means fewer aches, less swelling, and a more comfortable daily life without relying on supplements or medications. Replacing peanuts with walnuts also supports better digestion. Whereas peanuts can irritate the gut lining, walnuts tend to be easier on the digestive system and even contain compounds that nurture good gut bacteria. Seniors often struggle with digestive sensitivity, so choosing foods that are gentle and nourishing can make a noticeable difference in how they feel after meals. A handful of walnuts doesn't usually lead to the bloating or discomfort many people experience with peanuts, and this alone can improve day-to-day comfort. The natural solution also means reducing your exposure to mold toxins like Aflatoxin. Since walnuts grow on trees rather than underground, they are far less likely to be contaminated. This reduces the burden on your liver and immune system, helping your body focus on healing and repair rather than constantly defending against hidden irritants. For seniors, this is especially important because detoxification naturally becomes less efficient with age. The simplest part of this solution is that it requires no extreme diet changes. You don't have to give up nuts altogether. You simply choose the one that supports your long-term health. Swap peanut butter for walnut butter. Replace roasted peanuts with raw walnuts. Add a few to your breakfast, snack, or evening routine. Over time, these small changes help calm inflammation, support brain health, and stabilize energy. It's a natural, gentle solution that aligns with the body's needs, especially as we grow older and seek foods that truly help us thrive. Walnuts stand out as one of the most powerful foods you can add to your daily routine, especially as a senior, because they provide a unique combination of nutrients that directly support the areas of health that matter most as we age: brain function, heart strength, inflammation control, and stable energy. When you choose walnuts over peanuts, you're not just avoiding the negative effects of an irritating food, you're actively feeding your body something restorative, something that fuels clarity, calmness, and long-term wellness with every handful. What makes walnuts so special is their high omega-3 content, a type of fat many seniors don't get nearly enough of. Omega-3s are essential for maintaining healthy blood vessels, keeping the brain sharp, and reducing inflammatory responses throughout the body. Unlike omega-6 rich peanuts, walnuts offer a soothing, balancing effect on inflammation. This can lead to noticeable improvements in joint comfort, making it easier to move, walk, stretch, or simply get out of bed with less stiffness. Seniors who add walnuts to their daily routine often report lighter, easier mobility, something that can dramatically improve quality of life. Walnuts also contain antioxidants that help protect the brain from oxidative stress, which is a natural part of aging but can accelerate memory decline when left unchecked. These antioxidants support clearer thinking, better focus, and improved mood stability. For many seniors, eating walnuts regularly provides a gentle but meaningful lift in mental sharpness and emotional balance. It's a small habit that helps you stay present, aware, and confident in your day-to-day life. Another important benefit is heart health. Walnuts help support healthy cholesterol levels and improve overall cardiovascular function. Their unique blend of healthy fats, fiber, and essential minerals like magnesium helps keep the heart strong and reduces the risk of plaque buildup. Even just a small daily portion can make your circulatory system work more efficiently, which in turn boosts your energy levels throughout the day. Walnuts are also incredibly easy to integrate into your lifestyle. You don't need to measure or cook or prepare complicated recipes. You can grab a small handful in the morning, add them to a salad or yogurt, sprinkle them on oatmeal, or enjoy them as a simple afternoon snack. Unlike heavily roasted or flavored nuts, raw walnuts provide clean, natural nutrition without unnecessary oils, sugars, or additives. They're convenient, satisfying, and deeply nourishing. Most importantly, walnuts support your body rather than challenge it. They help you feel more agile, more focused, and more resilient. By making walnuts your daily nut, a simple, accessible choice, you give yourself a small but powerful tool to stay strong, energized, and mentally sharp as you age. This is one of the easiest dietary changes you can make, and the benefits can ripple through every part of your health. Building healthier habits doesn't require a dramatic overhaul. It simply requires small, consistent steps that fit naturally into your daily routine. When it comes to replacing peanuts with walnuts, the most effective approach is to make the healthier option easier, more accessible, and more appealing than the one you're trying to avoid. The good news is that walnuts are incredibly versatile and simple to incorporate into your day, and with a few practical adjustments, they can become a natural part of your lifestyle without any sense of restriction or effort. One of the best ways to begin is by making walnuts visible. If they're tucked away in the back of a cupboard, you're far less likely to reach for them. Instead, place a small jar or container of raw walnuts somewhere you see every day, on the kitchen counter, near your coffee maker, or in a spot where you usually reach for snacks. Visibility creates convenience, and convenience builds habits. When walnuts are right in front of you, grabbing a handful becomes second nature. You can also start by replacing peanuts in the meals where you currently enjoy them. If you're used to having a spoonful of peanut butter in the morning, try swapping it for walnut butter. It has a rich, earthy flavor and pairs well with apples, toast, or yogurt. If you tend to snack on peanuts during the day, keep a small bag of walnuts in your car, your purse, or your desk drawer. Having a healthy replacement within reach makes it easier to avoid old habits and choose foods that genuinely support your health. Adding walnuts to meals you already enjoy is another effortless strategy. Toss a few into a salad for added crunch, sprinkle chopped walnuts over oatmeal or yogurt for extra nutrition, or mix them into cottage cheese or smoothies. These small additions don't change the overall meal, but enhance it with healthy fats, fiber, and antioxidants. For seniors who struggle with appetite or energy dips, walnuts offer a steady, sustained source of fuel without causing spikes or crashes. Try making walnuts part of an intentional routine, such as an evening snack or a mid-afternoon energy boost. A simple handful, about 7 to 10 walnut halves, can give you stable energy, help calm cravings, and support your brain and heart without weighing you down. You don't have to eat a large amount. Consistency matters far more than quantity. Finally, be patient with yourself. New habits take time to build, but every day you choose a nourishing food over an inflammatory one, you create momentum toward better health. These practical steps aren't just dietary tweaks, they're daily acts of self-care. Each small choice brings you closer to feeling stronger, clearer, and more vibrant. One of the most powerful truths about health, especially as you grow older, is that big results rarely come from big dramatic changes. They come from small, consistent choices repeated over and over again. This is the heart of key point 6. When you swap a harmful food for a nourishing one, and you do it consistently, you create a ripple effect that touches every part of your well-being, and that consistency becomes far more important than perfection. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet. You don't need strict rules. What you need is one clear decision repeated daily. Choose the foods that make you feel better, not worse. Every time you pick walnuts instead of peanuts, you're reinforcing a habit that supports your brain, protects your heart, and calms inflammation. Each handful is a reminder that you're investing in your long-term health. Seniors often underestimate how much these small habits matter, but your body responds quickly and positively to consistency. 1 week of better choices can lead to more stable energy. A month can lead to better joint comfort. A year of repetition can transform your overall vitality. That is the power of momentum. Little choices building into lasting, meaningful results. This isn't just about physical health. It's also about mindset. When you make a small, healthy choice every day, you strengthen your confidence. You prove to yourself that you're capable of change, that you're still in control of your well-being, and that your age does not define your potential. This creates a sense of motivation that fuels other positive habits. You might find yourself drinking more water, taking more walks, or sleeping better simply because one healthy decision inspires another. Another part of creating lasting habits is being kind to yourself. You don't have to be perfect. If you have a day where you eat something less ideal, don't worry. Just return to your new habit the next day. Consistency doesn't mean never slipping. It means always coming back to what supports you. Over time, these healthier choices become automatic. They feel natural, familiar, and effortless. The motivational takeaway is simple but powerful. Your future health is built on the small decisions you make today. You don't need extreme diets, complicated programs, or endless discipline. You just need to start, stay steady, and remember that your body responds beautifully to the care you give it. Every day you choose foods that nourish your joints, your brain, your heart, and your energy. You're choosing a life with more clarity, more comfort, and more strength. 1 handful of walnuts a day may seem insignificant, but when repeated consistently, it becomes a quiet force shaping a healthier, brighter, and more resilient you. Seniors, your best years don't happen by accident. They happen by choice. Start with one small choice today. Choose the foods that love you back. Choose the habits that support your strength. And let every day be a step toward a healthier, brighter, stronger you.